Hey guys, good morning. Derek from Bombsocks here with another edition of Bom-Bites. We're helping you feast upon the words of Christ, one incredible bite at a time. So I want to kick off this week's study of the scriptures with a little 3-day, I almost want to call it an event. I know that probably makes it sound a little bit more important than it actually is, but you're going to see what I mean by this in just a minute. But in the meantime, let me show you a couple of numbers that I think you might find interesting. So the number of full-time missionaries on the earth right now is about 67,000. This is as the end of 2019. I actually just talked to a friend of mine who works in the missionary department, and he said that's actually pretty accurate. Even though we've had quite a few come home and we've got several going back out, that's about where we're at right now. Now, the number of people in the world right now is about 7.6 billion people. That's at the end of 2019, probably the most accurate number I could get you at this point. So we've been asked as members of the church to take the gospel to all the world. So if we left this up to the missionaries, every missionary would have the responsibility of 113,433 people. Now that's just each missionary. You want to put it together in a companionship, you double that number. It's crazy when you think about that. That's an overwhelming number. Now, there's a cool little quote from Elder Holland here where he said, asking every member to be a blank is not nearly as crucial as asking every member to be a blank. Now, you could pause it right here if you wanted to and see if you can guess what those things are, and I'll tell you what these are. Okay, so Elder Holland said, asking every member to be a missionary is not nearly as crucial as asking every member to be a member. It's kind of an interesting little thought right there. So if that's the case, let's check this out. So members of the church as the end of 2019 were about 16.5 million members of the church. Back to the world population, this would mean that each member would have the responsibility of about 460 people. That's actually within our scope. You look at the number of Facebook friends or Instagram followers or whatever, even ward members or neighborhood, that's not an incredibly unattainable number. That's doable right there. Now, that number continues to shrink exponentially as more people join the church. Now, this whole quote from Elder Holland, it was actually back in 2001. He said, a young returned missionary sister from Hong Kong told me recently that when she and her companion asked an investigator if she believed in God, the woman replied, I didn't until I met a member of your church and observed how she lived. What exemplary missionary work. Then he has his quote, asking every member to be a missionary is not nearly as crucial as asking every member to be a member. Thank you for living the gospel. Now, I want to introduce you to one of the most effective missionaries and members to ever walk the face of this earth. You know this guy. Look at him with his sword, sheep in the background. His name is Ammon. Love that little missionary name tag right there. Ammon, his story is found in Alma 17 and 18, and we're going to kind of camp here for about 3 days in this experience right here. So, because of his powerful example of defending the king's flock and faithfulness to Lamoni, King Lamoni listened to and accepted Ammon's gospel message. Many thousands of Lamanites were converted during his 14-year mission, and these converts eventually are brought down to the land of the Nephites and are called the people of Ammon. He had that much of an influence on them. So in doing all of this, I want to ask you, how did he do this? He is arguably one of the best missionaries this world has ever seen. So, brothers and sisters, welcome to the MTC. Now, we're in a social distancing period right now where not a lot of people are going to the MTC. So rather than calling it the Missionary Training Center, we're going to call it the Member Training Chapters. So as we are doing this, we are going to, like I said, camp in Alma chapter 17 and 18. Now, in doing all of this, one of the things I thought I would do is, and I've been kind of racking my brain how to do this a little bit differently. We're actually going to give you for the next 3 days a little Google Doc that you can actually print out, or you can have it there that you can study together as as a family. You can do it as an individual. You can even put together into companionships in your family. I don't really care how you do it, and I actually don't even care whether you use it or not. It's something that can be of benefit to you. So in the comments of this particular video, whether you're on YouTube or you're on Facebook, or whether you're on Instagram, you're probably going to have to copy and paste it. It's not going to take very long. It's just going to take you to a Google Doc. You can print it out. And what it's basically going to do, let me show you kind of what it's going to look like here. It's only 1-page document here, and it's just going to give you something that you can do every day for 3 days, kind of a missionary training center experience. But these chapters have so many good things to help us understand what to do as members of the church. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to have a little point where you can pause the video and you can do this little activity if you like. It's kind of a fun little thing to do. Or if not, you can just keep watching and I'm going to pick maybe one of these things. Each day there's going to be 3, the first couple of days it's 3 things, then the last day it's 4 things, designed to take you maybe 10 minutes at the most to do that, but just an opportunity to just do this as a family. So today I'm going to introduce you to the first one, so pause the video right here, and you can go ahead and work on it if you'd like, and then I'm going to come back and I'm going to share with you one quick little thing there. So enjoy, and we'll be right back. All right, I hope you enjoyed that. And again, if you want, there's going to be ones every single day that you can do just for these first 3 days. So the one I wanted to focus on, it's actually number 2 on the list that I gave you guys right there. It says, this is the first step in learning to become a good missionary, from Ammon. Now, these verses are Alma 17, 11, and 12. It says, even before these sons of Mosiah try to teach the people, what do they make sure they do? Now you look at these verses here. So verses 11 and 12 say, and the Lord said unto them also, go forth among the Lamanites, thy brethren, and establish my word. Yet ye shall be patient in long-suffering and afflictions, that ye may show forth good examples unto them in me. And I will make an instrument of thee in my hands unto the salvation of many souls. I don't know if they fully understood what the Lord was going to do with them, but he says, look, if you'll just be a little bit patient and if you will show forth good examples, that's the very first thing he says right out the gate. I want you to be good examples. And in doing that, I'm going to make an instrument of you in my hands unto the salvation of many souls. And this caused them to take courage. And they went forth amongst the Lamanites and taught them the word of God. So the thing I've got on this little paper here, it says, read these 2 verses, discuss with your companion or as a family or as an individual what the very first step to member missionary work is. If you're not sure, I'll give you a hint. There's a pretty familiar verse in the New Testament, and it's found in Matthew chapter 5, verses 14 through 16. Many of you are familiar with this verse. It says, ye are the light of the world. A city that is set on a hill cannot be hid. Neither do men light a candle and put it under a bushel, but on a candlestick, that it giveth light to all that are in the world. And then it says one of the coolest phrases, let your light so shine before men that they may see your good works and glorify your Father which is in heaven. One of the coolest words in that verse is the word let. Let your light so shine. The word let means allow. It almost makes it sound like that there is light within us that is screaming to come out. We just need to let it go out. And as we let it go out, that light will do amazing things for people. I think we all know people who are just great examples of the gospel of Jesus Christ, and their light, they cannot hide the light that is in their eyes. They're out there sharing the gospel just by virtue of being who they are. I've come across so many individuals in my life that have done that for me. Now, the cool truth that is here, when we set forth good examples, the Lord can make us instruments in his hands unto the salvation of many souls. So that's probably the first thing. If you really want to be an effective missionary as a member of the church, don't go out there and start preaching. What you do first is you show forth a good example and let the Lord do what he does so well. Let the Holy Ghost do what he does so well. Don't do it to be a missionary. Do it to be a friend. And we'll talk about all of that over the next couple of days. So anyway, I hope that helps you out today. I hope that's something that's been beneficial to you. Let us know. Let us know if these things are actually working well for you. Let us know in the comments. Anyway, we're going to give it a shot for the next couple of days, see how it works. And if it doesn't work, I promise we won't do it again. But if it works, maybe we'll revisit some of these things again. So anyway, I will see you tomorrow for round 2 of the member training chapters in Alma 17 and 18. Hey, you guys have an amazing day and Godspeed. Bye-bye.